Okay, so somebody made a comment about the indicator, the RSI thing, and I just wanted to run over the RSI, just kind of off the cuff interpretation, also combined with what the big boys are doing and all the shenanigans. So they're stop hunting me. It's crazy. They can see my tickets. Just because they're stop hunting you doesn't mean they don't see your account. Also, I got the stochastics, trusty stochastics to the bottom here, and I tweaked it out so that it's running at some psychotic rate of a slowing of 2. I was going to go to 1 on this. I'm debating to put this on 2. In fact, I'm just going to go 2s. This is also my style is impatient, and the field I'm going to use is close. So it'll be a percent R, it'll be a percent K and a percent D. I'm going to clean this up and get rid of the high and low. So stochastic settings is also, I'm also going to crank this up to linear weighted so this thing's literally knee-jerk reaction. So it'll emulate the herd of goobers that are supposedly tugged hither and thither by the overbought, oversoldness. We have a classic 80-20 entry. It looks like CCI now. See, when you slam an indicator, you can take it down here and just use it as an on and off switch, okay? It's not going to change too much. And then we could put the classic dumb shit 20 EMA on here, but that's going to filter out some of the critical trades. Not to mention the if we get a reversal in stochastics, well, not at this setting. This is an on and off switch down here. The way I set it. Now, if I smooth that out or I made highs and lows included, just doing that's going to change it into an ATR indicator. So this is quite a rabbit hole of settings. This is like when you go into your effects unit and you decide whether you're going to have triple chorus or just dual chorus, because at some point it's unrecognizable. I want to include the highs. It's high and low only, actually. It doesn't care about the close. Let RSI care about the close. Okay, see how it smooths it out? Now it's an ATR stochastics. So that's a big difference there too. And it is taking into account the highs and lows. This is where you can run a stop bot, because what you're going to say here is the criteria for entry is when we go overbought, we're going to run, just for instance, a crude system. When this starts to go down for a confirmation entry, we're going to start running buy stops. And when we get down here, hopefully we can buy at the market. It's very oversold. I know people think oversold and overbought doesn't work, but it's just an excuse to get in the trade. In the end, there is still the strategy of coming in here with buy limits and gobbling up all this bullshit as it consolidates. This is a playback of the daily chart going back like to 2013. Trading $1. Remember the days of $1.36 on the euro? And look at this thing stepping up the plate. It looks like it wants to make another run and clear and re-clear this area. Look at this vicious. I wonder why that was such a vicious pullback. Could it have anything to do with this is going back like 2 months? This window is such a big deal. Well, it's the banker's window. You don't understand, man. Now, I get that if you stand in front of this with standard lots, you're going to shit your pants as you sell up into that, but you cannot tell me. Even ICT would admit that's a good fucking scalp. Now you're buying, right? You got a top become a bottom here. You're waiting for the close of day also, and we have buy limits trailing in here. So we're trailing buy limits, and we're going to buy if it's down. That's it. What else can you do if you're a bull? Or anybody, really. Now we're getting filled on this. We got the scalps built into this window. They stopped this out. I'm playing this back in the crudest method. Now we martingaled in here, and we got plenty of dry powder to buy here all the way down and risk the rest of the account. Okay, so if you're in here and you just filled $300 a margin and your big target's here now. So how dense are your tickets? And right here you see this this shelf. That is going to need a lot of tickets. And you just lay them out there. There's nothing you can do that's going to change that. Here they're coming after me again. I just can't wait. I hope this happens quickly. Right, you want this kind of price action. Smash down in. Come on, bring it. We got all these tickets, and here's a campaign. This is like, come on in. You're welcome. You have to have, your biggest tickets are here now, right? They've always been. Here you're getting in. You needed a scalp to here on something. You knew this price before we went here, so your exit's already been determined. It's written in stone. Yeah, price levels matter. This is the floor that was taken out. Right? Daily chart, there's just tons of banker orders down here. Big banks got orders because that's where your stops are. Does anybody really think, if that's true? And once again, I started commenting on the no-nonsense thing, and some guy said, well, why don't you just go the opposite way? He goes, it doesn't work like that because the sentiment indicators say. What? Because the sentiment indicator negates going against the goobers? Huh. So if you say it's bullish, I shouldn't even think about scaling into a short, huh? Doesn't make any sense. It's all about how can you get into that trade without having to babysit it? And a lot of people wouldn't mind waiting 4 days to get filled on a buy limit bank down in here. You're going to just tell me you're going to buy for the next. You're setting unrealistic targets for the market. You're saying that if the Hana Forex trade shows up and the market goes like this is the floor, we shoot down here now. Okay, we see people talk about these trades online. Well, if it ever comes down here, I'm going to buy it. Well, why wouldn't you just scale in on the way there, just in case it doesn't make it to this target, right? And makes it to this order bank where now you're betting everything you own in your life on this. I'm just saying, if you really want to make a lot of money, now the Samurai Trader once again has taken his account. I'm going to put a link to his thing. He's proved that you can make so much money trading Forex. Yes, he had a $3,000 account to $20,000, $22,000. So some people don't like that idea that trading's gambling, and that if you can perceive an opportunity and fearlessly approach it, risking $2,000. Probably stopless trading, I'm assuming. But because he's trading on his phone, and I wouldn't trade with stops on my phone either. Like you're sitting there clicking on the. But I'm on the tablet. I do have stops on the tablet, so it is costing me a little bit. But I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to blow up the account on the phone. But I can get trapped in a fake breakout, or if I didn't buy shallow limits. Once you start with a 1 pip spread, let's just assume it's costing you 10 cents per $1,000. Okay, that's about as costly as you can get if you're a scalper or a high frequency trader, because the frequency goes up, the cost is going to be sitting there linear at this 10%. You better know what you're doing on some level and be able to put an obvious sweep order in, right? So you see how we just cashed out of this? If we could have endured, and this is the endurance thing, is when you see the market screaming down, how will you feel about that? What does that do to you psychologically? Because it's price over time. It's not that it went to that price, it's how fast did it get there? If you're watching these trades happen, I mean, Dante Trader will tell you, if you're seeing, okay, imagine you had buy limits here, right? And you bought this whole plunge, mind you, with a 100 pip stop. Okay, you're in this trade still, and you gobbled up all of this plunge here, and then they came down and they took it just a little bit lower, and you're like, holy shit, and this looks like Sunday. Gap opens, rips up here into the floor again. Once again, this is somewhere in time. This is like 7 years ago. On the daily, the most heavily traded, manipulated currency on the planet was stochastics of a 222 setting and a 3-period RSI. So yeah, you could say, you know what, I'm short from here. I got in on the structure. I sold here. Okay, where are you getting out? Well, the buyers are coming in here, fresh buyers, and they're scalping to this floor. That day is over for them. Like they come back to the 100-yard line, they're out. Boom, they're out. There are other people loading the wagon. Some guy that's on the weekly chart going, oh yeah, this fucking house cleaning. Oh yeah, this is fucked. This is a bullshit auction. They're going to fucking trap every goober under here. And we'll just speak about the way they speak about it. No nonsense Forex guy. If you take that angle of life, it's us against them. he's got this big bank, and he's like, they're out to get you. It's a war. That's why I go to the war room. No, it's a war against your fears, you know. I mean, you're afraid to put on this trade with a 100 pip stop in here on the daily, and you're like, yeah, I'm trading the daily charts, but I'm just kind of like buying down here, and then I cash out when it rips, and then I sell up here, and I cash out when it rips. When it rips in one direction, and look at this nice trap under here, this floor. Trap, trap, trap. Bangs off it on close. Gee, I wonder why it closed there and then rejected. Gee, I wonder if that's the trend. Closing prices is almost like the trend. And here's divergence. Here's a nice clean 3-period divergence. Well, of course, you had to wait for it. Look at this clean, sharp turnaround. I wonder if this vacuum could be any type of attraction for price. Even divergence on the good old stochastics using highs and lows. So when you look at stochastics, you need to look at the highs and lows, because the divergence is happening from an averaging of highs and lows. I guess I got it set to 2. As soon as it starts to go this way, this is divergence in your stochastics. Get the fuck on that trade. Sell there. Just the Forex nonsense guy says he doesn't know how to trade divergence. Never worked for him. Okay, you can't see this angle? You can't see the trend line? You can't see this wedge, this triangle? You can't see the volatilities drawing up? You can't see this divergence? Granted, I've set the settings at 222 on the stochastics. Using this as my ATR momentum, because it includes highs and lows where this is close only. This is naked. Only the closing prices. And here, not really divergence, but you know what? If I drew a trend line on our side, say, you know, we broke the trend line. I just need an excuse to get in. Trust me. We break the trend line, you come back, find support. Okay, get in here. Confirmation. You know, you didn't break the trend line here yet. See, why is RSI a leading indicator? Because this factor here, if I draw a trend line on RSI, it breaks before price, so I can get in before the goobers. Right? Break out, pull back, find support. I get in here because if I try to play that game on the price, I'm not going to get that setup. Right? So I'm pushing it. I'm pushing the system harder. If I buy here, then so what RSI in essence is nothing more than I guess a rubber band loaded spring. It's a spring where you can see the vacuum shows up as a reversal. The back fills. If they're just nothing but the market falling from just nobody's there and it just crushes into this hole, then you know that is showing up as kind of a fake move or too fast to be real and sustainable. So in any situation, if the market's up 300 pips in one day, I'm like, holy shit, let's take a look at that thing. And of course, if you sell right there, you may only make 15 or 25 pips because maybe it's going to pull back on the 4 hour and it's just going to be one baby pullback, doji, and then to the moon because it's cutting into all this uncharted history. So, hey, look at the people that just cashed out on that 100-yard line. I'm playing it back pretty fast. Actually, this daily chart, I can play this back so fast it'll just blow past you, but you can just see the divergence showing up, and basically divergence is going to be when market's quieting down and here comes the low risk or the tight pip traders, and that's what kind of gets a noise going, is that, you know, those people are that kind of trade is being employed. If all of a sudden this market goes screaming up, and this day here, you know, what was it like for people to think about this breakout being the worst trade of their life? I'm just saying one individual. I'm not saying everybody's in this trade. And this idea that 99% of people are all doing the same dumb fuck entries, it's not even possible. People are trading different sizes. People are trading different time frames. How could there be any correlation to address people in such a generic way to assume they're all fucking idiots? This is like that Cortez bitch, right? What the fuck's with her? She's like, yeah, everybody is going to get on the train. Let's get a high-speed rail on a magnetic. Okay. So, look at this thing slam down. So, if you sold up here thinking that this double bottom was now resistance And yeah, you made these pips. It doesn't mean that it's not going to go smashing here next or smashing there next. Is the market random? Absolutely. It just leaves behind. It's randomly unfolding, right? It only makes sense. In other words, this is a price, but how long did it take to get there? And is it a random move there, or is this completely clearly laid out? No, it's obviously a random move to every level. It's a random walk to an unrandom price. Right? These are real prices. How it got there. I mean, look at this fill here. If you were trying, and your target was here, are you trying to sell there? And I didn't fill me. Fuck. I mean, that was a nice. I bet that was a news day. I wonder if there's any pressure built up here. God, I mean, was it really astonishing? Like that this, and this is like an inverted hammer. Well, I only trade pin bars. Come on, man. But yeah, you could do stochastics. You could, but doesn't mean, see, if you did not get out of this trade here, just because you bought that divergence, you're about to get crushed. You're about to go underwater. If they go down there, okay, now they're getting into my buy limits. Who's not buying down here? Right? Okay. They're going to scalp to this. It's daily chart. Wait, let me get rid of my lines. So here's the next place for buying. Wait, long time to get filled here. And we also bought probably starting here if we're very aggressive. So this samurai trader, Suli, he was flipping through his phone for the heavy trades he did. So if you do a few heavy trades, now you just padded your account. Now you pretty much, you're good to go. You know, that's a nice return to make 20 grand. I don't know how long it took him, maybe a couple months, but yeah, it's totally doable. I've made 70 grand on a demo from 10 grand. I've made getting in heavy at the market and just taking an account to 160 grand from 10 grand and then just destroying it because I was like, this is just like too much work. I never even got out. I could have closed everything out and said, oh, there you go. But you know, what's the point? You could take it to 1 million and blow it up. It's like, how much are you going to take out and live off of, really? I mean, you could take an account up to $1 zillion, but what's the point of all the money if you're not going to pull some out and use it to go get a better, higher quality hooker or whatever? Look how they just finally filled all my tickets. I had to wait a whole day for this. So this is where I get in super heavy here, and those are above water. Every ticket from here is above water now. No divergence in the RSI. No reason to take a trade there. And this is where our RSI fails, is it's not giving me a signal that I'm getting from just good old-fashioned price history of like, wow, these are juicy prices down here. And then I'm going to buy a ton more down here. And maybe I'm barely in the market at this point. And maybe I did scalp out into the floor here. So it came all the way back. Notice how it took a little detour there for a few days. So in essence, all that's really happened here, price history wise, is we knew there was a big basement here, and we came back and we banged into it. After we cut through it, a lot of people got out there. They were hoping for this, I'm sure. The conservative people got out here. They bought everything here for 40 pips. They laid all this track. These are all pendings you could put in. These are set up and forget it trades. Can you blow up the account overloading it? Yeah, but if you're going to put set it and forget it limit orders in here on the wicks, these are amazing trades. Okay, so you could trade daily charts, and anybody could do it. You could just say, I'm going to trade 20 pip stops, 20 to 20, 20 to 10, all the way up to 20 to make 100, put it on each currency pair, but you're going to have to scale it like this because nothing else matters other than price on a daily chart. There's a window here to sell. Why would you even look at the hourly chart? This is not worth your time. Every week, if this is the beginning of in other words, if you are here on the chart, or it's how to trade the market with pending orders, I guess. You are here. You know this exists. You have sell limits here. You don't know how long it's going to take them to tag that area. And when you see this, right? When we're here, does this exist? Yes. When we're here, can you see that? Yeah. So you have a sell limit there. Like when you're here, after this, and you're here, can you see that? Do you think that's going to be a breakout point? Do you think the selling's going to start up before that? And maybe if you hold through that whole top, we don't have to look up there. Let's just assume that we're running 300 pip stops. Does that eventually become a winning trade? When you start to look at the market in pips, instead of looking at it with the indicators, and what those indicators are telling you, look at this fucking house cleaning. Look at this bitch all the way back into here. Look at how they just scalped right off that. Isn't that amazing? We don't even have to look. Look at this thing scream. I've got it on the crudest setting, but it just shows you like where it's going to go eventually. What it really did on the daily. I think the highs and lows are correct on here. I'm doing the crudest playback method just to emphasize the fact that it's just about, at the end of the day, what's the price? So that was a nice scalp, right? So we accumulated down here. We were trapped under this auction floor, and we banged down at once, come back. We got to buy this pullback. We always buy on the baby pullbacks with tight stops. Look at the fucking ratios here now. I don't know if a lot of people were prepared to make that much money. Now we're coming into the seller's window. We sell real heavy off this window for the scalp. So on the dailies, we're just looking at these holes. We have a sell window here. Amazing, obvious shit. Hopefully we did sell into this lonely wick on the top for the scalp. We would just made about 50 pips there. Almost 50 pips there. Now the buyers come back in. Now we want to put buy limits trailing here maybe. I'll always buy this. I'm going to buy more down here though. So everything's already spelled out. This thing's popped the cork here. We went in that window. Now, if it's a real breakout, we're going to pull back, and then we go gushing through, and we're going to go house cleaning on these. We're going to take out these retail goobers here. We're going to stop hunt the bears. Any bear who has a stop up here trailing, because, that's, he wants to protect his profits. We got in up here. Now that would be the one-day pullback. You're going to get in just because it's down. RSI is overbought, but that doesn't mean anything. See, that's another problem with the indicators. Are you really going to? Oh well, I can't trade now. See, and that's why, in the end, you probably don't want indicators. It's like maybe it's the training wheels. But if I take this. It's too hard to delete it. I'm playing back the thing, but if I get rid of this stuff, and now I'm just trading for pips, and I'm thinking, well, what if we come up here? Would I sell all the way to this key price? And would I care what kind of pattern took me there? What kind of random walk would eventually end up being? Look at this beautiful limit being filled here. So on the dailies, okay, we could do a 10 pip scalp in here maybe. So if the scalps are laid in here, right, on limits, okay, we just scalped out. That was a 10 pip scalp, obvious scalp window. Will we continue tanking? That is the question. We could have also scalped to 20 pips. So if we have drops, we just put drop orders in here, right? We build up a bank here. You can use the multi-drops where it lays them in 1 pip apart, right? And you can lay it in there 10 times and never repeat the price. You can put 100K in a 10 pip window. You can put 100K in a 10 pip window without repeating the entry in a 5 decimal broker, which is hard to believe. But look at this beautiful. Oh, there you go. Boom. So I'm gobbling. I don't even have to be here for this trade. Actually, when you see how steep and how ridiculous this, what you're saying is, come on, man. Come on down into my order banks. Why in the fuck are people spending all that time working so hard on these charts? With the indicators and the blah, 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 and I was crossed the zero line. Dude, who's not buying this plunge here? And then when it gets to here, oh my God, I'm just going to buy so much for the rest of the week. Oh, we just scalped it here. We just made 30 pips. With our 40 pips stop. High probability trade. Like, wasn't that like a high probability place to get in on? Oh, look at that. And this could be Wednesday. I don't even know. Oh, look at that. Now here comes the goobers. They're going to buy here. Let's trap them. Oh, those poor goober breakout traders on the daily. Can't you just fade the... You know, the idea that you can't fade no-nonsense Forex guy and make $1 million is so hysterical. Like, he thinks he found some type of, like, more better indicators. Well, these are more better indicators. It's like a smart car bullshit where you freeze to death because you can't start your car because it's not in gear. You're in a snowbank and you're like, oh, God. You know, this is how people die from too much indications. We got a high indication. Dude, I'm like tired, okay? My indication, I'm tired. Okay, so maybe we're out of everything, right? We've tagged and bagged, but you know what I got going? I'm always buying new lows for 100 pips, dude. You mean to tell me you're just going to put orders in down? Yeah, look at that. Oof. Beautiful. It's a quick payday here. Got to have scalps built into this. What if it just keeps crushing? Okay, now we're going to martingale in here. I'm just hoping they take it down there. So if you're doing trading like this on the dailies, it's very easy to set up your whole week. On a Sunday night, you lay all your tickets in like this. You know, pick a ratio you can live with. Yeah, if you do $250 in the account, if I have $250, I can do 25 trades a day, risking $10. So you have your pallet of tickets. You go looking on the dailies. Any nooks and crannies you can place the orders. Okay, they're filling my martingales now. I'm going to go, and then after here, I'm just going to go cycle along. So if I bought every 10 pips a 1K, what am I in? 10K now? Well, it's a lot, you know. Okay, I have 10K. I got to stop down here. Like, how much money are we talking about? Oof. Now I'm in 20K. I'll buy another 30K here. Here I'll buy 100K down here. I'm going to run 300 pip stops on this. I'm going to start buying right here for 300 pips. That's my trade plan. People say, I don't get how you trading that shit. Yeah, just fuck them. Bring it down here. Come on. I got money. Bring it down. I'll go underwater. I don't care. Sure, I'll hold your purse while you try on that bathing suit. I'm okay. I'll make it. I know this price exists, and this will be the first place the scalpers get out. The 30 pip scalpers jumped on this thing. Right, this is where you're in super heavy, and everybody's like, "Holy shit!" I hope all scalpers are like, "Holy shit!" I just want to make my 30 pips and get out of this fucker as it tanks. Here comes the breakout, non-directional breakout traders. Let's see how they do. This could be Sunday night. This is the end of the month. 2014. Oof. Breakout traders trapped him. The guy that scalped the new low with a 5 pips stop just cleaned up and made 20 pips on that. Good work. Okay. Now we're cash. Now everybody has a sense of relief. Thank God, man. Got out of that fucking scalp. And even this guy got out, right? The guy that did his line on close. And even this guy's getting out. And this is the ultimate floor, is the last days, 2 days again low. That's all that matters. A lot of people just cashed out. Here comes the trend traders. The bears are going to try to sell this. A lot of people are going to cash out here on this rooftop. Going back on this bar. This is obvious stuff, I suppose. I don't know. I think a child could understand this. Of course, if you've been exposed to indicators, I mean, this is the kind of thing, you know. Because you can't unring that bell. If you want, I don't understand what's going on here. I got to get my MACD. Like, you got a fib tool laying around I could use. I can't even think of. But if you could just trade this nakedly and just see what's going on price-wise, you can see the trap. You can see the rejection zones. How are you going to trade it? Are you going to get in at the rejection? Are you going to assume a rejection? Are you going to assume acceptance? Like I said, the trend traders got in there. The structure guys, they're going to sell that. It's a real breakout to them. and they might be right. If you were in super heavy here for 50 pips, you just did really well. So how, the market's telling you how big to get in, and these guys, this big floor, we made it back to here. Now the question is, are we going to drift sideways and pop up and start retracing? Without putting RSI in here, we can draw a trend line like this. But if you want to try to force, get a more signals and more excuses to trade, yeah, you're going to break out the indicator and go, you can justify this, but look at my moving average, but then that negates it. I mean, at some point, you just got to say, dude, we're trading with a 30 pip stop. Find a goddamn trade. Here's a 30 pip stop. Go trade. Anybody says, here's my trading course. How do you feel about trading with a 30 pip stop? How do you feel about trading with a hard pip stop? Well, I'm a fundamentalist. I trade with a 300 pip stop. I make money. I just hold the trade for 3 months, and I just see the structure, and I'm like, yeah, this is like watching paint dry. Or are you sitting there at the London Open going, look at this fucker crush, I'm buying that. I put those limits in fucking 3 days ago. Look at that shit. It's hilarious. Look at these fucking idiots. Oh, I'm sitting in front of my terminal looking at a 1 minute chart, and I got in that trade. I saw divergence on the 3-period RSI on the 30-second chart, and I got in. Yeah, I know. I got into that same trade. I just put the orders there. I mean, I kind of just figured I buy low, sell high. Well, you can't don't be so just quick. I can't just say buy low, sell high. What are you, fucking retarded? I know it's too much to ask. Look at this thing where they sweep the leg down here. Look at this. Oh, geez. I wonder if that was a good place to buy down here, and then just get in super fucking heavy in that. Oh, this is where they stop hunted the goobers. See how that worked? This is what no nonsense Forex guy talks about. He's got that secret thing he's doing. Look at this fucking raid. So cute. All the way back to the starting gate, and then we go up. Sorry, guys. Sorry, you cheap sissies with the tight stops. You mean us retail trader guys? Who is he talking about? I mean, it's just hysterical. Man, look at that. You finally cashed out into this. That was the big round. Plus, it's the big, like, holy shit, Jed and I bought right here on a trend line. Jed was showing me the trend line trading, and I bought right here, and holy shit. You know what? It was a winner. The idea that there is like just one goober trader out there, dude, there's a goober that did everything wrong that you could ever do. Well, let's just fade those people. Well, you can't do that because the sentiment indicator index, huh? Wow, I wonder if this price means anything. I wonder if this price did. I wonder why it went so fast after it went through here and here. And I wonder why just before, what kind of trapped little people there? Oh, well, you think it's going to keep going? Oh, I see you're wrong. You're using that. Oh, my God. Come on, man. Yeah, this trade over here took a long time to set up. We had to wait for it to come down here, and then they went down a little lower, but look at how much pips we made. In one day, you're out into this rooftop. So, my suggestion is, how do you feel about a 30 pip stop? How do you feel about a 50 pip stop? Where could you use it on this chart and make 50 pips? Or 100? Or where could you put a 20 pip stop and make 100? If you have a script, a trade plan that says, I want to risk 20 to make 100, now you got to find a place to put it on one of these charts. You got to look for an opportunity to place it in there. Here, you're going to say stuff like this. If I'm going to sell this, I need to sell high. Where am I going to sell it? Well, how about here? How about we sell this whole window? All right, put the orders and walk away. It's always going to be a good place. We know there's sellers up here. We don't need level 2, level 3. This is like manual. This is manual jigsaw trading. Or what's the other one called? Jenga. This shit's stacking up, okay? There's pressure. Like, this is always going to be ripe for the buying. But we know that this is going to be a fast, dirty move through this because all this pressure is stacked up at an angle. Right? This is a wedge. But we know that the sellers are going to come in and tag off that. We already know there's really aggressive traders here like Sue Lee would sell that. Let's hope. On pendings and go to sleep. And look at that. Oh, and then here's the buy limit stacking up for me. If I scalped off of that, I would go flat. Now we have a top become a bottom, potential continuation. And pretty brutal, I must say. The thing looks itching to pummel that area. It's playing back faster than I thought. Also, we have an inverted hammer there, if that matters. But we have a top become a bottom. I'm just going to go for plain old horizontal structure here. This is a huge selling window. Oh, coming back after my buy limits here. Hoping they pick me up on something today. So the daily charts, if you look at them in a pip basis instead of like this or like this, like the daily chart like this, I guess so, right? Look at them plunge back into the buy zone here. Did you see it? Wow, look at that. That's beautiful. Look at that. And the guy that sold up here, oh, gee, we missed that day. Look at the guy that sold this window. He knew it existed. And you hold through that. And, gee, I can already see there's divergence on RSI here just because I just know how RSI behaves. This would be a nice divergence. And if it's not, it is also a head, and this is a shoulder. And for whatever reason, there seemed to be a vacuum piling up back here that needs satisfying. And golly, the guy that bought here is now up in the trade. The guy that bought 100, so you're buying 100 pip windows. Swing trading. Scaling in 100 pip windows. That's the strategy. And we're all going to cash out above this wick, and new sellers are coming up here. And a lot of people cashed out there. And this is why this move is going to be ferocious. Is because this has been looming the whole time it's been dicking around down here. And look how brutal the pullback is. So the scalpers have already cashed out of that. The pending scalpers on the daily. Right? It should be obvious what's going on here. Well, it's the most manipulated currency, and I can't even believe what they do to that currency part. It's just not right. Yeah, get that Cortez bitch on it. She's like, not on my watch. They're not going to manipulate this fucking market. Not while I'm the boss. And this whole thing about the banks, really, are we bailing out the banks? Because why didn't the banks save themselves with a Forex hedge? I thought they were so in charge. They're the one that moves the price up and down. Oh, gee. Why do we bail out the banks after the 2008? Why do we have Frank Dodd? Well, because, the banks kind of, they're human beings like retail traders that can do dumb shit. Like, there's just people, man. You think the bank, there's some robot bankers coming after you. What's happening? People fucking kidding? Now, granted, the big picture here, if you are the big trader, you're waiting for it to invade here, you'd be cashing out like crazy, right? A lot of people just scalped off this top. So a lot of people scalped off of there. And don't forget, there are people that are not going to look at a 1 hour chart. They're just looking at this going, holy shit, I remember this trade. Now, you could do this on any currency pair, but be reminded that this is the euro's maybe moving 100 pips where the guppy's moving 300 pips on the same psychosis. So yes, if you started buying here all the way down with a 300 pip stop, you are now up on that trade. It doesn't take a whole lot of, it's just about smoothing, it's about softening the risk in a dollar sense, because if risk is about dollars, then why aren't you scaling in and out? Sure, you can get these amazing, like I'm sure that when this filled your order bank and it ripped to the floor and you go, oh yeah, I like that trade. Like, if you're going to trade the daily chart, which that no-nonsense Forex guy and ICT on a 15-minute chart, he'll point out this area. Or people talk about this. This is a bankers. That's where they're trapping people. Okay, they're trapping people that are they're only the people that are trapping is a guy that has a strategy that's buy here. So how could you possibly do that makes money? If 80% of 90% of people are losing money, can't we just break out the indicators from the no-nonsense Forex guy and fade them? Yes, of course. If it's overbought, buy. Right? Just, it's not always going to work because what's more important is the structure. Yes, there's scalpers in this pocket here. They just got filled. Right? They just got filled. I can see it on the 10-yard line here. Are they going to be right? I don't know. Okay, they're right for 20 pips. How you doing? How you doing on trading that entry? How you doing on a confirmation you got in here? Oh, well, fuck, I'm underwater now. Why can't you just fade a goober? I got buy limits in here now. All month long. Come on. Pull it back. Maybe we'll bounce to here. Why does it fucking matter the exact price you're getting in? Are you really kidding? Are you really going to tell me, well, it's not a random market, I should know exactly? Really? Why would you waste your fucking time? If you know this is a key price, why wouldn't you just buy there? Well, because it went here and you're wrong. Yeah, you really can. This is a 10 pip grid. Are you really telling me you can call the market within 10 pips? Well, then fucking do it. I want to see this fucking no-nonsense Forex douche with the 10 pips. Let me see you get in at 40 standard lots with 10. Well, you could scalp it for 30, 40 pips, right? But are you really going to ride? Okay, are you really going to spend the time? You might get stopped out 3 times and then go, yeah, finally I got filled and I wrote it. They just filled my scalp bank there. So I can run scalp. I can scalp on the daily chart. Why would I need a 1-minute chart to scalp? That's another big, that is kind of a mind trick that people fall into. Well, I got to be on the fucking 1-minute chart to buy here. Really? Did you really have to be on the 1-minute chart to buy this fucking stop hunt? Look, you just scalped out and made 20 pips with a 10 pip stop, 30 pips. And now maybe you're holding for it to go up here. Right? We have a top become a bottom at the 100-yard line. Huh? Look at you hold on to it, you're doing even better. Maybe get out the next day. It's up. Sellers are coming in as soon as it's up. What do you know about the market? If it goes up, it goes down. If it goes up, and if it's random or not, it wouldn't matter. This is where it is now. It's up. Would you sell? Okay. If you sold, you're a genius. If you sold here, you're a moron. It's up. I took the criteria. It's up, I sold. It's up, I sold. It's up, I sold. Okay, well, if you sell at the market, that's just your market trade plan. But what if you have limits up here because you can see this high? How are you missing this high, this lonely high? How are you missing this giant hole? What's keeping you from looking at that? Because you're looking down at a fucking indicator. Or you got Bollinger Bands on this. It's not a Bollinger Band story. It's not a fucking RSI story. It can be. In other words, you can see what RSI is revealing, or stochastics are revealing, but in the end, it's about, am I running a 100 pip stop or a 300 pip stop? And that's going to matter because you can endure a lot of punishment. It's kind of like trading without stops in a way. But once you accept, okay, I can do a 30 pip stop here. I can stack up 100 tickets. I can put a standard lot in there. And I got a real, as soon as that thing dips like 13 pips and retraces for 8 or 40 or 22, I'm out. Oof. Like even here, right? If you had bought this thing right here on the dailies, and this trade is just like a setup that is just, trust me, you only have to trade once a week with this system. I'm going to show you. If you were to just imagine, every month actually, once a month you put the orders in. If you're always buying here, I'm going to buy there anytime we come down here, I got a whole bunch of tickets waiting to get filled. Comes down, slams into that, retraces half of that. Okay, you already know your exit. The trade is already set up. Here, you're going to sell up in this window. You're going to sell very heavy here. Anything above here, you're going to sell very heavy. But what you got to be careful is this window here could be filled in one fucking day. And you could be filled here in 3 days. And it's on the 4-hour chart, you're going to want to... This is why you really don't want to change time frames, honestly. If you're going to look at the daily chart, then you go to the 4-hour chart and you go, I'm looking for a better entry. Dude, as far as I'm concerned, you better just get a whole nother broker for the 4-hour chart because you have a whole different view of what support and resistance is. It's just not even, doesn't come close. And what your rate of fill is. Having your orders, if this is a 4-hour chart, yeah, having your orders down here, you might get filled by the end of the day. Here, you're getting filled right now on the dailies. But if this is a 4-hour chart, okay, they're filling my first scalp bank and then had this big fat ticket in here in this window. And that just scalped out. But I've got more tickets down here. So hopefully I'm flat now. I want to play this back just a skosh faster. At the end of the day, I bought. Okay. If you sold every rally here with a tight stop, as the market quiets down, you can tighten up your trade plan. And you could have sold that without any other fucking reason than you just think it's kind of highish. Your version of overbought. You know, it's okay to think for yourself. To have these indicators and have all these rules, it gets to be really fucking annoying. You know, this is a lower high. You could draw a trend line. You can make some saying it's going to tank. But don't forget, every time it tanks, people are buying it. Right? People are gobbling this shit up here. If you want to think that a banker he can see your stop, just trade the opposite way. Oh my fucking God, people. You just have to have a trade plan and pick how many pips you're going to risk. If you have a 50 pip stop, you can see you could sit here and buy this shit here, and this is your ratio. Right? If I took my fib tool and I made it into a ratio device and dragged it along, I'm sure we can all see. Hopefully you can just see it. If this is my stop window, let's forget about the profits. Just worry about your losses. So if you're going to be one of these, I'm protecting my equity people, you're running a stop that's this big. How many times can you trade this trade plan with a 20 pip stop to make 100 pips, right? Here, not really, because you got stopped out, see? If you bought this lonely wick, you needed to run a 100 pip stop on that, but you just made 100. Was that commingled? Was that on a separate account? If you bought that same trade plan here, here, now if you bought it here, see, you risked 100, but you made 150. But did you really get out, or did you go flat on everything above here? You just got out of everything on the planet, and you knew this was a seller's window, and they scalped to this. They scalped to this, are already out in one day. In one day, they were filled and reversed without having to be there. Why are people babysitting these charts on the 15? Thinking that if I'm on the 15-minute chart, I have a better chance of, yeah, because your indicators are going to give you some goofy divergence and stuff. But the cruel fact of it is that this price matters now, and this price matters now. Nothing else matters. This price matters. I got buy limits in here. If I'm short here, I'm probably cashing out in here also. How am I getting in and out? Am I going to buy heavy down here? Oh, yeah. Am I still holding my shorts? Probably not, because at the end of the day, it's down, which means buyers come in. And now I'm just going to wait for them to come down here, possibly. At the end of the day, I would have bought maybe for a little dead cat bounce because it is down. If this closes up, I'm getting out of everything that I bought here. It's okay to go flat, you know. It's okay to trade from lunge to lunge on here and not sit through the fucking whole thing. Like if your targets are getting hit here and you made your 30 pips with a 20 pip stop, you're out. Yeah, you could say, look at when they hit this is going to steamroll north. But yeah, what happens when they come up here and they just tag and bag a goober? Do you want to be that goober? You got a buy stop here. You're not even in the market yet. You got a buy stop here. You're not in the market yet. You want to be that goober? Or did you buy this little tighter trade and you're already out? Are you sitting on the sidelines here waiting to get filled on sell limits, waiting to get filled down here and buy limits, waiting to just buy everything on the planet down here and just walk away? It may take fucking 3.5 days to get there. It may take 4.5 hours. If this is a 4-hour chart, just trade the 4-hour chart. Don't go to the daily. I mean, this idea that you're going to go, oh, here's the daily. I'm going to take it down and find a good entry in the 60-minute chart. that just seems insane. Like, just trade the 60-minute chart. Don't say, well, we're looking for a house. Let's look at the big house, and then let's go look at a house we can live in. Yeah, I get you. Go look at the big house for an idea to put into your small house, because look at the way they did the bathroom on there. Their house costs like $1 zillion. Let's do that to our bathroom. Right? Stealing the concept that's lightweight theft. It's not like stealing a bunch of gold bars where you're like, holy shit, the van's shocks are going to blow out. Let's get the fuck out of here. Hey, look how the breakout goobers nailed it. The low volatility breakout goobers, they were sitting there waiting for that one quiet day. Shoot out the OK Corral, waiting for that one. We got this entry technique called breakout. Yeah, we get like a 40 pip day, which is bracket that. Look at how much money we made on that. Look at that trade. See what I'm talking about? Then you got some other guy going, yeah, but don't you see this fucking beautiful setup where this double top becomes a bottom? It's just fucking beautiful. The other guy's like, yeah, look at this little mini stop hunt where it just runs out of momentum. We just gobbled that shit up. 20 pips stops to make 100, 150. That's the fucking trade on the daily. I don't know why the no-nonsense Forex guy needs to deny the market's reality. He actually mentions, it's kind of funny because I think he is conning people. He says in the comments, I was trolling him and he said, yeah, well, yeah. And I thought, yeah, he knows. He must know. He says, oh, yeah, well, yeah. Because, yeah, aren't you just going to gobble up all those stops? Look at this thing. Man, you wish you had the 200 pip stop on that, exit on that 30 pip entry, don't you? Now, this is when it's really like hard to believe. And like I said, this is going to be brutal. If we ever made it up here, see the brutality, which we knew it would be brutal. But look how the top tick Tommy right here made quite a bit of pips and comes all the way back to structure. Here comes the trend traders. How do you know there's one trend trader out there that had trend line right on close there. That is the idyllic setup. Traps the goobas, the early, this is just scalpers, rip it all the way back. That's over with, comes back to here, and then rip. And we knew this would be bloody through here. So we'll sell heavy above here. We've already scalped out, I hope, because it looks like it's going to brutally go up. I don't know what's to the left of this, but this looks like a huge window of doom. Yes, there is a big uncharted 200 pips up here, so it could be crazy. I want to speed this up now. This thing gets really ridiculously fast, so let me see if I can keep up with this. Okay, we got filled on some limits there on the daily, courtesy of the big bank stop hunting them little goobers, little gooberettes. And then right here, see this top become a bottom right there, kinda? But we are out, son, and we are short on this window. Okay, now this is tough sledding if you're used to going down to the 4-hour chart. But look at how in 3 days, look at that trade. Look how they just stopped. They didn't stop on them. Not yet. Oof. Like if you didn't scalp off of that, I'd be scared shitless to sell this now. All my sells are going to come in here now. I'd be like, okay, I got to scalped off that rooftop, but that's fierce. Look at that thing. That's one pissed off currency. This is what the market looks like when the news comes out. To be honest with you, if you're on the 5-minute chart with a bad server connection, this is what it looks like. Now, look at this fill. We just got monster scalps in that. We just lay a whole thing of scalps in here like this now. In swing trades also. Also here I'm going to buy very heavy like I stated before. If it goes down, I'm buying. If it goes up, and I bought at the market 2 days in a row there with big wide stops, 100, 200 pip stops, 100 pip stops. We're all going to get out here. Look how vicious the volatility is. Okay, everybody's out. Anybody that bought this psycho plunge, even this guy got out, right? Because, and that's what kind of causes the pullback, is the guys that get out there because they bought there. And the trend traders that think this is a downtrend and this is their new trend line, they're selling. But we can trade both people's trade plan. We can buy here and we can sell up in here. So I can run the limit strategies all day long without having to babysit here. We'd just buy pant loads in here. And here we'd sell anything above here we're selling. Here's the pressure building up the buy stops. We just bought this little trap. We scalp to the floor here. We might still be holding. Now they're going to hunt these stops. They probably take that out like a zipper to here, so I would have a hard time selling that. My selling would start here. And then it gets super heavy above here now. Because this looks scary, like they're just going to crush that. I'm going to shear that off. Oh, they just trapped a little bit there. So that was a nice scalp on the daily. Not a lot of pips, but here the buy limits just finally got filled. And now more a crush. We had to buy this one too. God, this is so fast to play back. And then we bought just down here a little more. Now we prepare to buy it more as it crushes. All your swing trades, we're trading 100 pip stops. So, or 50. We wouldn't have got stopped out over a 50 pip stop here. If we would have bought this new low, we could have run 30 pip stops. We finally made 100 pips on our 100 pip stops. We could cash out of those. This is high probability exit window, I think, And this is one pissed off pair. And of course, we came all the way back and revisited this fucking price. Go figure. We also got heavy in because of this window. We never filled on this. And our trend lines, we got to get in before the trend line breaks. So we have this trend line. RSI would have broke probably. Also, we have this projected trend. This beautiful, the patterns show up really easy on the line charts. But this congestion, this pressure building up, the void above, and then here comes the top bottom traders trying to buy this top retest. I think they're going to annihilate it a little bit. So we'll buy here. If we just started trading this, if we didn't just came to the game right now, it's playing back so fast. Right now, you kind of just have to say, well, if I showed up today and we were here, I'd probably start buying here. Because if I miss this entry, in other words, the heavy hitters bought here and they're already up on that trade, right? They started buying this first stop hunt. And stop hunt, I just mean a trailing stop from the people that are going the other way. All really it is traffic in the morning. Some people are going one direction, some people are going the other direction, and at night people go the other way. And that changes over time as the market changes and where the jobs are, So if the jobs are in the country, people are driving to the country in the morning, and then those things invert over time. When the 2008 crash came, you could see the behavior of traffic change. That's all it really is like if you can guess, but it's kind of a random thing, although we can see locations on the chart here that, yeah, those prices are written in stone. Those are not random. In other words, the price history is not random. It's already written in stone. The future is random. If that helps clear up is the market random? Yes, the unfolding of it's random. The history it laid out is written in stone. This is a high. This is support. Okay, there is resistance here too, but how are you going to play it? Are you going to buy in a breakout there with the 100 pip stop? Okay, that's not so bad. On the daily chart, maybe not so much. This looks like Sunday, I think. So, did you buy the stop hunt of Sunday, or are you going to buy this stop hunt? Right. So this market traders day looks like, whose stops are we going to hunt today? Okay, we just gobbled up this goober. We got in very heavy in this window because this is a big goober window. Like, if you're not looking at that fucking stupid 1 minute chart, and I say only stupid because if you are on the 1 minute chart, you might as well just break out the tick chart and accept the fact that you are like literally trading at the market. Look at that beautiful fill up here. Wow, look at that scalp. And then some. And I think they're going to blow out that top now. Because if you came in here with buy limits, these are just amazing. I think this little baby bar, unfortunately, is Sunday. So this isn't really fair. This is like a 6-day chart. 6 day a week. 8 days a week like the Beatles. So RSI doesn't work very well on this because of that. In a sense, RSI is corrupted by the fact that Sunday is plotted here. Okay, the scalpers are selling up into that. They're out. They already got out of the trade. And here comes the trend traders. And there's that psycho move. I tell you got to be so fucking careful. Look at this. See now, did anybody trade that? And that could have been a news event. I'm just saying, in 2014, did you trade that? Did you see this move? Look at this fill here on my buy limits. Right? I'm trading a 100 pip stop. Did I say I was trading 100 pip stop? The 100 pip is the big black line. This is the most manipulated currency in the world. Like, you see how everybody was bullish up here? Did you see how the news was very bullish up here? I got that, but it doesn't matter to me because I'm going to buy here like you can't believe. Right? And I already scalped. Well, this window here, I'm buying, always buying here. I knew this area existed. Even though we were up here, it didn't change that this exists. Okay, now I just bought the ranch, and I'm going to buy all the way down here all next week. All next week. I'm giving it a week to get down there. We had to scalp something here and at least make 50 pips. Now we're waiting for this. Now I'm not going to buy anymore. The sellers just came in at this this high from 2 days ago. All right, see the high of the day. You don't have to go to the 4-hour chart and find the high of the day. And high of the day is right there. Okay, now we're buying heavy in here. We got the scalp out of the gate there. And that if we didn't put our targets in for 40 pips, we only made 20 or 30. But we have another opportunity to buy here again. Have no fear. The plunge is near. I'm going to buy that. Boom. I got a scalp in there, but it looks like it's going to rip down. So why is it going to rip down? Because it's giving back everything into this monster lonely wick here. Why is it reacting so heavy there? And we all knew this was going to be a big hot spot all the way to this one. I'm going to say this is the next lonely wick. Below here, we have to buy even more. And hopefully we scalped this window. If we bought here, you see it overshot the target, and the conservative target was here on the daily. Okay, we just bought more. So I'm swing trading with a 100 pip stop. 50, 20, 30. Trying to make 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 pips. You just run those scripts. Here we bought even heavier than we've ever bought, and we scalped to there, and hopefully we're back to, if we got overloaded on this entry here, because see this was a winner on the daily because it came back to there. So every time it made a new low, this is the one where we loaded up heavy, and we really bet the ranch was just below this wick. But we've already cashed out of that 3 times, right? First one was here. So there was 3 rinse and repeats on that. Okay, now we just got monster filled. We just made 100 pips in one fucking day on that wick. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Oh, and who's not selling up here? Why did it react like that there? I don't get it. What's this price action thing? Well, the bankers the bankers know that the goobers buy here, so they trap them. Don't you get it? It's like that fucking stupid ass Owen Benjamin. You get it? You don't get it, do you? You just don't get it. Okay, you can just talk bullshit. Clickbait didn't go to the moon. We're buying here. Look at the guy that sold up here. He made 100 fucking pips with a 20 pip stop. Yeah, but he had no indicator that it was going to turn around there. Really? I'm still buying this. Now my only fill here would have been to start buying this window. With the 100 pips stop, I'm still in the trade. Let's buy low, sell high. Okay, look at this little mini vac. We could have picked this up at a nice discount for a nice ratio there. So the tighter the wicks, we see a 20 below close, from close to the, right, the wick is the body to the tip of the range. You see a 20 pip wick? You want to get on that. You want to get in this trade down here on the reversal because this is low. It's lower than here, right? This is the auction floor. This is the trap. This is supposed to be the breakout. Sellers are supposed to come in here on the daily and take it down to the target down here. Doesn't happen. It's going to happen now because we trapped all the goobers up here in the breakout. We're bankers. Yeah, you just got a big cigar and sit in a big fucking chair. If that's true, that they're moving the market, then you can pretend you're moving the market. Watch me make it go down here. That's what I'll do. I'll go on a tour, a symposium. I'll bring this strategy tester with me, and I'll show them how I can manipulate the market. I'm going to make it go up here. I know there's goobers. I'm going to hunt them. And it goes up there, and people are like, how are you doing that? Dude, you don't understand. You see this Android phone in my hand? Direct to the fucking Forex floor. Is that like that Russian embassy in Florida? It don't exist. I know. I knows it, but it sounds good. Look at this fucking trap. Ouch. Stopped out another goober. Another goober bites the dust. Hey, I bet there's goobers up here waiting to buy. Ooh, the goobers don't know about this one. That it's going to be a sharp ride to this prize. Oof. Well, here comes some goobers. We'll let you win a couple times, but we can't always let you win. Sure, you can scalp off that for 30 pips, but watch me come and rape your wife. Goobers think he's fancy now, making money to here, does he? How to fade a goober. Oh, there. Goober went long here in a breakout. He's running stop. I heard the goobers are running stops. I heard the retail traders think they're right about this move. Yeah, they're all bullish. I heard they got stops in here. I was watching Twitter and I heard some goober put a stop in here. Did you? Let's go get him. I heard there's a goober that says he's going to give the market more room. He's very fundamentally bullish. He put his stop in here. Did he now? Like Eddie Murphy going into the bank. Here's your money. How about trading places? Pork bellies, orange juice. Those are lock limit, brutal. That's high risk trading. Lost my home. I look at the breakout traders. Look at the goober. The goobers are standing there proudly. I told you we only trade small candle entry. Those big candles, we leave that for the big boys. You know they're manipulating the market. When you see a big candle like this, you know what this is called? It's a pin bar, but you know what it really is? That's the bankers manipulating the market, son. That's what's going on there. You don't want to be part of that. I knows it, but I want to buy down here and I don't know why. I just feel it in my gut. Woof. Then I want to buy just tons right down here. Tons. Look at this 48-hour bottom. Look at this 72-hour bottom. And like this is like the bottom of the barrel. I'm buying so much on that plunge there. Along with a bunch of other people. Ooh, they trapped the goober breakout traders there. The guys that trade the breakout on the weekly, see? Oof. Ouch. You don't want to be that guy, do you? Oh, you're right about the trade, are you? Because you have 100 pips stop. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I see your trade. Step aside. I'm going to buy this whole fucking area. Step aside. Oof. Deep discount prices here. I can't imagine why it's reacting so harshly there. Has anybody ever watched Forex over any period of time trade move? Gosh, I wonder if it comes down here, I wonder if we should get out. We're wrong about this move, about it retracing. Yeah, why don't you get out there? Put out an alert on Twitter that, move your stop to here. Are you a bull? Could you move your stop to here, please? Mission accomplished. Wait. Oh, I bet they're going to... No, I'm going to move my stop down to here. I feel safer that way. Oh, let's go get his stop. Yummy. Gee, thanks, buddy. Fuck him. I'm going to give this more. I'm very bullish. I'm going to put my stops down here. I'm moving all my stops down here. Fuck them. Can't they see it's going up? Don't they see the weekly chart? Dude, we're at 200 MA right now. Even the 100 moving average. Simple moving average that simple bankers use to make simple money. You know they're buying here. So just... I know you got stopped out. It's okay. You're going to be fine. I know they stopped, hunted you. I know you moved your stop. You said, I'm not going to... I can't... And now you're selling. I know you can't handle the risk. You just sold, you said? Right here, did you? Oh. Well, I guess. I mean, it was going down. Look at, you're right. See? It's going down. It's a good thing you sold. Look at that. You're up on the trade. What you say? You say what? You didn't get out? But you just sold. It's going down. I thought you told me the moving averages said it was bearish. Can anybody think of how hard this... Think like a goober. Fade a goober. I'm speeding it up. It's too funny. What do you say? Ralph says it's in a downtrend. He's selling. Okay, let's buy. He says MACD's just crossed the zero line. Okay, let's go on. Let's be bottom tick, Tommy. Let's accumulate in this 200 pip window. Oh, you said he's taking profits? Okay, let's buy. Oh. He's really bearish now? Okay. Oh God, I don't know. We bought so much in this window here that I can't even begin to tell you. Yeah, we're in 300K. I'm going to buy more down here too. We broke out the 300 pip stops. We bought at the market. Every day it went down with a 300 pip stop. Damn, that is brutal. I guess Joe was right about this entry here. Wow. Look at this fill here. Oh. 300 pip stops. What happened? What happened to the euro dollar? Oh my God. What'd you say Jed got out of the trade after it was up 100 pips? He got out. He didn't write it down here. Jed said he was right about that trade, and look at. So on a bar by bar basis, if you looked at this, who's making money on this thing? Is it the guy that says, I can see left, I see a big vacuum, maybe I should sell at the market any rally I get with a tight stop? How am I doing? Let's see. Maybe I should trade at the market also. Maybe I can't just put limits down here. Right? Even though I could scalp, I could claim I made 80 pips here. I could claim here I made another 80 pips, and I'm going to buy more here. Okay? And I made like maybe 80 pips, 50, 20, and I'm buy. This is daily chart, by the way. And of course, here is where I think a lot of systems are going to clash. Okay, here is your structure situation. It just keeps cutting into, you can't see it on this chart, but it's cutting into this floor that goes way back. And any kind of rally, people are selling, and we have the classic breakout traders that are trapped to death here. So you can see how there's no way you can build a trade plan for every situation, because this is the daily chart. And this is only going to happen once in a lifetime. Are you going to see this exact, these are like snowflakes, this exact pattern. And this perfect bottom become a top here on the daily. And the market's calmed down, so people that do trade with tight stops are stepping in. When the market goes down 200, 300 pips in one day, a lot of robots, if you're using a 300 pip stop, they're coming after your stop eventually. In other words, if you bought here and you did not get out of anything on here, yeah, they're coming after that. But you would know that. And when it quiets down here on the daily, here comes the people that are like, okay, they are going to drop down in the 4-hour chart and take a signal off that. But the 4-hour traders, hopefully they can see the big structure. There's no way one approach is going to work. If you trade with 1,000 pips stop, can you claim you made 300 pips from this trade? Yeah, you can claim it. From this point here, from this floor, from it crushing into this hole, you could set back and go, oh, well, we bought all the way down there with 1,000 pips stop, and then we dumped the whole thing here. Then we did a rinse and repeat, and we started coming here. We're going to buy that. And below here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to use 1,000 pips stops and buy every 100 pips. Okay, so you're risking $100 a trade to make $100 a trade. It's going to take you how long to make that, right? Are you going to scalp anything off of that? Did you just buy more here when it quiets down and you tighten your stops up to 200, 300? I mean, you'd have to adapt to, if you really just traded this one currency, you got to say, this market is so insane right now that I've got to trade. I could go trade a smaller time frame because your trade's not going to work on that on the daily now. But you're going to run a 50 pip stop on the daily. You better be getting into very wick tips where you better wait for a quiet day. After the market just rips up 200 pips and then down 100, then down 2 days, 200 pips. And it starts to go nuts. Look at this thing. Down 300 pips, possibly coming into this neighborhood. Did you get in on the breakout? Did you buy here on limits? Do your trade plans even work for this kind of velocity, this kind of viciousness? Well, you can't run your 20 pips stops are going to get stopped out here. I can't go to the weekly, but if I can press it, right? If I can press the data here, look at how this thing's melting down. Now, you could also say stuff like, well, it's obviously a downtrend. You should have sold everything against the trend line on the way down. Great, but still, you're going to have to pick. You could say, well, I got this beautiful trend line because you didn't really retouch it. It's in a downtrend. You should be selling only. All right, but this is ranging. This is ranging at an angle up. This has been ranging terribly for the last month. It's all range trading here. Who's making money? I think the range traders here. You could say, okay, there's some really nice clean moves down, but the retracements aren't. There's no shame. There's no shame in those retracement trades. And here, people are just have to step back from this market at this point. It's not like it was with the running 20 pip stops early in the chart. Now, look at this thing. It's out of control. You have to buy here with a 200 pip stop now. If you want to do that same trade, you're going to swing trade now in this thing, you're going to get clobbered. Look at that thing. You have to buy heavy in here with a 500 pip stop now. Can you do that? Do you have enough money? So, see, the volatility destroys your. If it's $1 risk per trade, you can trade with this This wide, really? Look at that. My God. Here was the only place to get a sell limit filled in a trend, in a down move. They hunted the bears stops only one fucking day. Look at that fucking entry. Look how vicious this thing is. Are you ready to trade with 1,000 pips stop? Not a higher high. Look at that. You couldn't trade this with a 20 pip stop. Maybe that's got something to do with why people can't make money trading. Because all of a sudden the market heats up and people are like, holy shit. Good Lord, I keep getting stopped out of this fucking thing. Look at how vicious. Look at this fresh. I can't see the whole chart, but we all know what's going on here. It's 2014. Yeah. If you look at 2014 euro dollar, look at this meltdown. I bet somebody was buying stochastics and RSI oversold here. Oh yeah, by the way, if you did need to find an entry here for an excuse to trade, you could have used the RSI to get into this, you know. And this would make it a market end of the day trade, market orders. Even though RSI is oversold, you can see all the reversals here. Here's a triple reversal. Bing, bing, bang, bang. And you just have to nail it there at the market. Here's another triple telling you sell, sell, sell each rally. Reversal, reversal, sell, more reversals. But then this starts to go up one more time. There's another reversal on the daily. It's just this momentum. Okay, I did just divergence here. We'd probably be buying this on pullbacks. Let me see where I'm at in the chart. Okay, so the price down here, here was another kind of the last of the long-legged reversals that really pays off pretty big here. And then this one fails. This is supposed to be a reversal from here to here, but it's too steep, see? Now it's getting all accumulated. So if you're trading with 1,000 pip stop or 2,000 pip stop, and you started buying here, and you could afford to buy all the way down, maybe it will come back to here. I don't know what happens to this price, honestly, but we know that there's holes out there. I'm sure this is filling some monster hole somewhere. That's why this is such a brutal move. And people pile into this trade. Here's another reversal I just missed. Right here. So it's pretty subtle. See, this is this. So I'm talking about this. And then kablamo. And so the way you typically gauge that is you take this, you find the lowest close in there, and you do the same measured move. But that's gone. Those clean price pulses, and this be the last measured move here is from these two pieces. Here you get the extension off the lowest close, and it overshoots the runway. Now it's going to hell. So your only chance to get on the short train was this reversal here. Then there was this kind of hidden one a little bit. Here's the best reversal of all. See this like a 4-period reversal? Then kablamo. We knew anything below here was going to come unwrapped. And people are buying this window. They don't even get a dead cat bounce. Because what's really the looming vacuum that goes way back is being filled, right? We know that this has got to be some cavernous thing. And here's where the people with very wide stops, would load the wagon is right in here. And they'd scalp to here. And now everybody's bearish, I suppose. Well, that's what they would say. But what I think it is that I'm sure on the left side of here we've hit like a 5-year low or something. And it just cuts through. There's a bounce, you get a top, become a bottom, and now it's always a structure story. But when it starts to rip like this, there is almost no chance to board the trade. Here's a reversal. This would be your first buy reversal. More were sold, higher price. So, right there. But it's about pips in the end, I think, because these are insane fucking moves. Let's face it. This is insane. You could not trade this with a 20 pip stop. Those days are over. So the markets are changing, evolving. That's why they would destroy anybody's trade plan that has some type of fixed dollar risk with a fixed pip size on an instrument that they think is just going to stay stable. Like this euro dollar, this is like the meltdown of meltdowns. I'm going to speed this up. I'm going to see if it ever retraces. I don't know this data very well. I don't even know where we're at in the chart, to be honest with you, 2014. I just want to see if we ever make it back. And in golf, I want to see if we ever make it back to here. It's not like you couldn't trade on this little micro level here because we're ranging. 80% of the time we're ranging. So if you're good at range trading, you could have range traded this without regard of all the punishment and where we're at in the big picture. Okay, so a lot of people have gotten out here. Will this in golf? Will we make it to here? Will Johnny get out of my basement? Will my wife ever graduate college? You get that black ball. Trade with that ball, that number 8 ball. So finally satisfaction for these people. And here comes the, don't forget there are people that traded with a 2,000 pip stop and now they're laughing at you as you sold into this big conspiracy, the banker conspiracy. Gee, I wonder why it came and rejected that so harshly. Wow, that was the ripe for the pickings area. All the people that bought here think this was the bottom. They're so pissed off. They're like, I'm getting the fuck out of that. Gee, the bankers that trade without stops did that trade. Here comes the trend line traders. Oh boy, look out for these guys. They think it's an uptrend. Look at this insanity here. You mean to tell me? Here's where Jed blew up his account, by the way. I forgot to tell you. Jed was very bearish here. And holy shit. They just kept raping him. Then he started to get confusing signals from his signal service, and he was like, what the fuck? I think I'm going to blow the account up. Because I just thought I could trade structure with, and I could just risk 2% of the account, 2% of the account, 2% of the account without the regard to this thing. Just look at this vicious, look at that. You see how vicious this market is? This is over-the-counter shit. Look at that. Oh, my God. Don't have to wait long to get filled here if you got buy limits. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, you have to trade with... This is a different time. 2014, man. Look at this euro. Out of control. Oh. You got to trade with wide stops on this. If you're going to, buy these voids, these are huge caverns now. Playing it back very quickly. Here was a nice little scalp window. They retested that. Look at the retest factor. Even if you are trend trading this, how are they not blowing you to bits? You think these wicks don't affect you? You got to be out of your mind. You're short this thing, or even if you're long this thing, if you don't get out in this window, and if you don't have any clue what that window just was, you're in trouble. Look at him come back and this. Look at him retrace this fucker. I don't think people really can handle the Forex. Honestly, this is what I think is that you may start trading with you're successful with a 100 pip stop. Next thing you know, this fucker just went up 800 pips in 2 days. And you're like, I don't get it. Why did it do that? I don't get it. RSI was all queued up. Everything seemed to be okay. Look at this thing. We finally came up here. What a house cleaning. Holy shit. It's just stop hunt to stop hunt. Goober to goober. Hunt a goober. Look at this. Look at the volatility. I can't. It's going playback so fast. Look how brutal that is. RSI does not explain this move. So are you an indicator guy? Do you have a false sense of security trading with a 100 pip stop? Look at this. I'm playing back at hyperspeed now. Just give you an idea what the market... It's not random. Nope, it's not random at all. Okay, it may not be random. And this is the daily... Euro played back in crude. I'm not using the tick by tick. It will never play back this fast. Yes, it's not random that this price now exists for the end of time. This is not random either. That price exists at the end of time. But here is your near-term supports. We know there's sellers up here. They just got filled. We know there's buyers down here. Will they get filled? We know there's more sellers up here. There's people that bought down here, and they're waiting for it to go up here. Right? There's people willing to buy down here. There's people willing to sell up here. It's just like, which guy are you on your hyper speed now? Daily chart. Pretty incredible. Imagine how bullshit your indicators are really here in essence. Because if they're not based around a 100 pip, a 200 pip, a 300 pip, a 1,000 pip trade plan, then how are you going to even survive these moves? You know, when you put up any indicator and if you just are really saying, well, okay, look at that wick. Oh my God, you see that? Gee, they just hurt somebody. Look at how brutal it came into this window. Look at the brutality of that. 2016. The election's coming. I think the election's on here. So that was maybe the election. I don't know. Yeah, that was the election there, I think. Look at these wicks. I'd love to see no-nonsense Forex algorithm. Look at this auction down here. Wow. There's so many auctions, though. It's just back and forth. It's ranging. What's your 200 EMA say? Well, I don't know. I'm kind of afraid to look at it now. I don't know what's going on. I mean, this is what a crazy playback. Wow, look at the trap up here. Look at, there's a trap down here forming. I wonder if we can ever come back above this. We could buy at the 100. We could sell at the 100. Sell up here. Start buying down here. Oops, wrong indicator. This would have been a great fucking place to get in. I'd be very afraid to sell into this window because it's so big that it's vicious. The only time you really made any money was getting caught in this, getting this. Okay, so we never stop hunted this guy. The trend traders are claiming that we're in an uptrend now. So funny how that worked out, right? You're trading with 1,000 pips stop. You buy the euro. on this plunge here, and you can claim victory now. How tight is your stop is the question. Yes, you could have got in here, but I bet you Ned, I bet you Jake, that said this is a beautiful entry. Did he really ride it to here? Really? Did he really do that trade? Did he even have a trading account back then? Okay, so this is the ride to $108. I'm going back to, okay, so yeah, this daily chart. Wow. So look at this total in golf, right? Down here we're at this is 108. Okay, 105. So this is the giant accumulation on the floor, and of course this structure is without regard to what you care about. Like, this is called range trading from a typical standpoint, even though inside here in the daily chart, I'm sure there are times that your algorithm would have worked. So no-nonsense Forex guy would be able to pluck a few pips out of that. That's just an amazing move. Never even made back to here. Look at this window. The guy that sold here is finally at break even. He started selling for a 400 pip window there with 1,000 pips stop. Wow. Look at this. This is so jagged and just so random. I know to finally eventually get to some of these holes. I know that this is a seller's window, but it's a window. And look at how many times you could have sold here and claimed head and shoulders here, trend line. I'm selling there, and so I think you can see all the look at how these are amazing moves. You can make so much money here, and then you can just totally give it all back because look at this pullback. Right? You think every 3 days is going to look like that? Rarely. Another thing you can do by just playing back the market is see how some of these moves are just unreal. This is ranging now in a 300 pip range for 2 months. You know, so on the 4-hour chart, I would trade the 4-hour chart. But I wouldn't, like, if I'm looking at this thing, you got to be looking at you running a 100 pip stop to make 200 pips. And you got to be really good at selling this window and buying here. And what are you doing about this? Are you buying really heavy here? Look at this. Are you going to buy here next? Did you sell this structure? Look at this bottom become a top here. Right here. Did you do this trade? Did you load the wagon here and you just made 300 pips? Come on. You tell me you're an indicator on this shit? Look where you're at. This is 105 down here. Come on, man. People are ridiculous. I got an indicator. This is 105 on the euro. So the top become a bottom twice already. Twice. Came back to the where we fell out of bed. Be realistic, man. Is anybody waiting to buy down here? Maybe. Are we going to go down there? I don't know. It's random. Oh, I don't want to hear that. Don't talk random to me. Can't you see I'm using Fibonacci here? Wow. Did anybody buy this? Holy shit. Got some balls there, son. Nice trade, though. I'll do the same trade. But not with a 10 pip stop, okay? You can't do this trade because look at the velocity. Are you ready for this move? Are you ready to buy here again? Is it going to be just like this one? Not necessarily. Oh, I think it's done playing back. Let me see if I made any money. No. Some stupid robot. Anyways. So that's the playback on the daily using the super fast mode of no. What controls point? Very crude method. Daily 20 pip spread. Some stupid breakout system that just got annihilated because it wasn't tuned to the pip range. Yeah, indicators, not indicators. I guess it's a mindset. It's up to the tortures in the eye of the beholder.